Welcome to Pill Diaries. Today I want to speak about the strange phenomenon.
The cattle effect.
That's right, the cattle effect. So the cattle effect, basically, I've spoken about this quite a lot in the past, that we're kind of living like cattle. There's a lot of people who have done truthful videos about this, like Stephen Molyneux, for example, where he's got one called the Story of Your Enslavement. Very good eye-opener. But besides that, to understand how unimportant we could become, and with social engineering, with the masses being dumbed down, if you think of us all being cattle as human livestock, and when you bring out machinery to automate things, you become less and less valuable. It's like thinking, when they have synthetic meat, right? At some stage, you're going to have all these cows in a field, and now there's surplus to requirement. So what happens? They get culled off, purged, whatever you call it. I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's what the plan is with people. You look at how the world is kind of descending into chaos now. It's happening simultaneously in so many places. And at the same time, people's rights are getting eroded on a daily basis. So you wake up, you've got, you're less of a human being than the day before, as far as your rights are concerned. Well, same kind of thing. Not only will we have no rights eventually, but we'll have no jobs. When you've got no jobs and you've got no capital, you're being charged things you can't. You end up getting to the stage where you have designed criminal records, or it's a plan laid out for you to get a criminal record. That's what it could become in some dystopian future if we carry on things the way we're doing right now, and if we fail to recognize the actual prison, the more mild prison that we live in, prison situation. Slavery still exists in America. Look at the prisons. The prison systems are basically enslavement camps that are also utilized to unlock public spend on security, where it would otherwise not even be required, because you've just locked up a whole bunch of innocent people, or people on exaggerated charges. You've got some states that allow weed, and you've got other states that have got thousands upon thousands of people in jail because of weed. It's just a little bit insane to think that you're doing wrong in one place and not the other. But anyway, that's the justification for how the human purge could happen one day, especially give it 2 generations. You think about a stage where only 1 in 10 people are working, so every second household's got someone working. So let's say I'm the person in this household, I'm helping everyone get by. I might also be giving money to my cousin's household, because it's got to go one step removed because there's so few people working. And what happens then is you end up getting the creaking point of the wealth disparity. Big massive capital owner, and then the little peon that is actually the majority of people. It gets to a certain stage where it no longer has any capital, and let's say if you can pad that out and make it take over 1 generation, it gets to the stage where, oh daddy, look at that poor man out there, he has nothing to eat. It's like, here, just take this little loaf of bread to him. He toddles over there, gives him a loaf of bread. 1 generation later, that's all it would take. Oh, there's frightfully ugly cockroaches. Exterminate them, daddy, please. And the thing is, the justification would be there for it. Actually, he's going to get a 473B, breathing oxygen while riding a bicycle that doesn't have illuminated sidings, or just any old excuse, and you're done. And that's kind of how the movement of the law actually does incarcerate you. You'll need to look at America to see how well the design, when you actually start to social engineer and can bring out new rules, that people have to continually, oh, I need to do that, I need to live my life this way, I need to get that signed, and filling out your forms and doing your taxes every year, making sure you don't slip up, or that your CPA doesn't slip up and you end up going to jail sometime in the future for tax evasion. That's dystopia. Is 1984. If you go a bit further on how America and Britain is, take all the worst aspects of social engineering from each country, you add them all into one, because they are test beds for each other. Turkey's like, hey, can you guys test out basically a geo-fascist system where 2 parties that take control over and over? Okay, well, Putin, if we do that, or let's say his predecessors, let's say Stalin. Okay, right, we'll take that road, you try out the dictatorship, okay? Okay, sounds like a fair thing. We'll apply it to communism? May as well. I mean, you said socialist before, but okay, socialism it is, right? And that's what's happening. Korea going along in the communist thing. They're all friends at the top of the castle, looking through the clouds. Oh, hey there, Bush. Hey there, Obama. They're all friends. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, you have to look Look at him. Look at him. He's giving me shit. Who's that? Kim Jong-un. Always doing this. Look at him. Look at. You know what, man? Stuff this. I'm gonna send about 1 million of my guys to fuck with 1 million of his guys, or even 2 million of his guys. Fuck them all up in some little island somewhere, and that'll be me. So yeah, that's my finger back to him, because he flicked me the bird before. You know, that's kind of what it's like. You know, Daddy got pissed off. Cause that C-dam, he can kiss my ass. Sends his boys out there to right daddy's wrongs or whatever. You know what I mean? That's kind of the world we're living in right now. So, if we're living in this and we're accepting it, we're not even asking questions, imagine what you won't ask questions to in the future in 20 years' time, when everything's slightly modified and tuned here, and then all the bad things from each little spoke of this, you know, this secret plan company, no, secret plan, NWO, whatever you want to call it, Illuminati. When their plan all comes together and we're surplus to requirement, we'll be all wiped out, like just, you know, if we don't overthrow, let's see the French Revolution. There's a good way to look at it, actually. French Revolution, you had people couldn't take any more, but look how much shit they took before they actually did something. You know, the problem is we get to boiling point before we do anything. Well, the you know, the general populace. Then you get people who become red-pilled early, start to wake up, see what things are, decide, hang on, why do I need to sit under some queen? Isn't that the same thing as like a fascist emperor, or you know, something like that? You know, fascist dictator or an emperor. And it is. It's no different. All they're doing is raping resources. This is why they have. If you have, this is the thing. I'm not against capitalism. I'm actually an anarcho-capitalist. But if you have, let's say you're inherited as much money that you can never have to work again. That's one thing. But then in that time, you're earning a job enough that, let's say, it would take the average person 10,000 years to earn in 1 year. Then you're making too much. You're actually, no matter which way you look at it, you're taking out more than what you're giving. That's why the world's kind of getting, you know, shitty, because people are getting greedier and greedier. But also people are getting more and more gullible. And you know, the first people who jump to the defense of the invisible elite, you know, I mean, the ones you can't really see or get to, or don't really know how it pulls it behind the scenes, they'll actually stick up for them unwillingly. You actually point out to the average person what, you know, the imprisonment, you know, the willful slavery they go through, like whether you're in prison at that level of slavery, or whether you're actually someone who's captured in a country that you know, let's say UAE or Saudi, and then us, you know, friendly countries, we actually ignore that sort of stuff as if it's not happening. But you know, we still trade with them, but not China, because you've got people working in asbestos mines. So you know, and then later on, oh, we will do China now, and let's actually put all our businesses out. Let's get rid of all the people in our countries so we can hire children overseas effectively. But we're not hiring children. We're just paying the guy who's hiring the kids. Hey, Nike, that's fine, or whoever it is. You know what I mean? Not Nike. Ooh, I take that back. I'm just kidding. This was just... You're not going to sue me. That was a joke. Edits, and I'm just kidding. Oh, fuck it. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to mention all those things. Just kind of wake people up. And if you're not woken up already, maybe you already are. Maybe you haven't seen that side of what I just mentioned, how the stuff fits together, how these things happen in cycles, and how you don't do anything about it. You get to boiling point, and then even the stupid wake up. The problem is if the stupid don't wake up in time this time, and you get to the stage where the elite effectively, I know this sounds crazy, the elite have all the robots they require to do everything in industry, and even you know, to take over soldiers. They've already got drones, for example. Just think about these things. Then you end up getting a situation where a few people could control a lot of clout, and as the overturned masses, the peons lying like turtles on their back that can't do anything, you would be defenseless sheep, and in time have even be painted out of having any let's say a value from the enemy, from a moralistic standpoint. Like, oh, they're still human beings. Oh no, they're nothing. They're just nothing but filth. They deserve to be exterminated. Even their children, Mommy, like I mentioned before, can we exterminate now, please? It's acceptable. Like there's a German show, The Man in the High Castle, and all the kids like, Heil Hitler, oh Heil Hitler, and you know, they normalize it. That's probably how it would have been if they'd taken over the east side of USA. Anyway, I won't get into that one, but we suffer a lot from groupthink, but we can also benefit from it, and that's when the mainstream start entering things like the crypto market, for example, and racing away from the banks. If the adoption happens sooner rather than later, so people, because otherwise people are going to get rinsed by the banks and the big investor companies who are actually buying in large and will have a larger stake of the pie in the future. They'll be buying it at inflated prices with everything they've got from selling their house, buying 0.1 of the Bitcoin. You know, that's what it could become in the future. Think ahead. Bye.